What's going on, people? I think this is the first time doing this, huh? A little in the car. Just the Colin Cowherd thing they got going on. You know, when they do like the live reaction with the hot takes and shit. Like someone got traded or someone got signed or someone, what is it? Some, you know, they do the little the live thing like this. This is what we're doing. But we got this guy over here. Where are we going? Where are we going? Oh, a little piece. Yeah, where are we going? We got 15 minutes to do this.
We're going to Anteater Ballpark.
We're going to Anteater Ballpark.
Baseball in its most purest form.
That's what I'm talking about. Big West baseball.
America's
Support your
national
local.
pastime
There you go. Friday night, UC San Diego, Tritons, Cal State Fullerton Titans elimination game. Season's over for one team. Season's alive for the other. Big West baseball under the lights. Yeah, we got about 15 minutes until we get there. Might hit a little bit of traffic here in a second, potentially. Although we're just pretty much going straight for the rest of this drive. So we're just cruising down.
Unlike our recording on Wednesday night, which was anything but straight.
Oh, yeah. No, shout out Siobhan Butt, man. That was some spectacular stuff. I'm looking forward to and to Jason. Both of those guys, you know, really carried the torch. Jason's going to be launching the OnlyFans, and our guy, The Shiv, is going to be joining them pretty soon. And I'm excited to get those guys on Sunday night with with the whole contingency we got going on for the with the other fellas, Malik, Fadil, Vince. I think we have some other special guests potentially coming for the inaugural FIFA tournament. Looking forward to that on Sunday. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We got 13 minutes to go. It's been quite the day out here in Southern California, though, huh? There was definitely it was an interesting thing that saw earlier during the afternoon. I guess it happened yesterday. It started yesterday. News travels slow when it's important, and news travels fast when it's not important. Have you noticed that?
I have.
You have noticed that, yeah. Life, the important shit, they don't talk about it. But if it's some stupid conversation, that's what we're doing here. We're trying to have a little bit of both. But yeah, man, we're on the way to the Anteater Ballpark, Tritons and Titans, and before doing this, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you can attest to this, and we have text to prove it. I mean, I was definitely, going through it a little bit with that, doomsday scenario. I don't know if anybody is familiar. I don't know. We'll see when this uploads too. So it might be. Shit, we'll have to see. Hopefully, we can even upload this by the time we're done recording this and we get back home. Hopefully, we're able to upload this before we go kaboom in the sky, man. With the whole modern day Chernobyl 2.0 potential sort of thing we got going on. Or what's the thing I sent you? Bhopal in India? Bhopal, however you say that.
Bobby Jindal?
Bobby Jindal, wow. There you go. That's a throwback. But yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things, sometimes, I mean, we were talking about this, you and I, actually, yesterday. We were talking about life and death and
taxes.
Life, death, taxes. There was another thing I sent you. Life, death, taxes, life, death, and seed oils. That'll be a future conversation, and life, death, just life and death in general, and it's something that I think. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I definitely that is something that I struggle to deal with on a damn near daily basis, and I know a lot of people say, "Dude, why are you thinking about that?" But I don't know. It's always been something that. I think that's the thing that's always scared me the most, is that as much as sometimes we like to say there are infinite possibilities, infinite things that can happen, possibilities are endless, all those different sayings, the one thing that isn't infinite is our own time. And that's something that's always been very sobering to me, and I've struggled to grapple with over many years, and for different reasons, which we'll kind of expand on that, with the seed oil part of the discussion in due time. But, I think it's something I personally don't think about every day. But, there are things that every now and then, you think, and it's like, damn, I really, I love life, man. I can't speak for anybody else. I love life. I love being around people and talking with people and just being a part of the human experience. And whenever there are things that face you with your own mortality, whatever it may be, whether it's someone around you that dealing with some sort of health issue, or someone passes away, or there's some sort of tragedy. Earlier in the week on Monday, there was a tragic shooting not too far from where we're at in San Diego, and It feels like that came and went out of the news cycle way too quickly, and they're, something that shouldn't be forgotten, and it's an incredibly tragic thing that should never happen. And so all these different things that happen where obviously nobody is immortal. We're not gods and goddesses. Maybe in our lives we can be, but we're not infinite beings, and that's the scary part to me. I don't know how anybody else feels about it, but I feel like I try not to talk about it with other people because I don't want to bring down the mood and depress people, but it's something that in my own thoughts, it's something I think about a lot. And I think, with the thing that happened earlier, or it's, I guess, continuing to evolve, maybe it's just one of those days where sometimes you just get in your own brain a little bit and you can't quiet the voices in your head. And the voices in your head are telling you all kinds of things. And they say your brain, well, I don't know who they is. I think it's just, but, they're yeah, there you go. That your brain has the ability to be either your greatest asset, your greatest strength, or your worst weakness. And it's kind of up to each individual to choose on a daily basis what their brain is going to do. And sometimes people don't have a choice. And that's why, that's what we always try to do is, we want to open up conversations that maybe, you can't really put a price on per se, just in the sense of like, I think death is something that most people grapple with in some capacity. And everybody deals with it in different ways. And I know, not to even get into the religious side of it and non-religious side of it, where, depending on your belief, some people believe, there's an afterlife of some sort, and some people don't. I think it's something that is the most humbling, sobering thought on the planet, is that not only will you never know what it's like to be anybody other than yourself, but the reality that we'll never really know what happens afterwards. At least that's the way that I look at it. And I think just that's the scary part of it. But I'm not gonna lie to you. I try normally not to, I'm not perfect. You could attest to this, big fella. I mean, I know I can be a prisoner of the moment sometimes, and that's happened in many instances, whether it's just, again, in a societal sense or in a sporting sense. Sometimes we do tend to, especially in today's thing where news travels fast and slow, depending on what it is. But sometimes you can be a prisoner of the moment, and the dust settles, and it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to be. And then there are times, sometimes you don't think something's that big a deal, and it ends up being a 15 out of 10. And I don't know. There have been many things that have happened. I mean, even recently with all these things going around. I mean, Ebola's back, and all these viruses that they're throwing out on the news, and we had COVID not too long ago, and all these different things. And I always, that's one thing. And then you got natural disasters and climate change, which some people will say is not even a thing, but we could have and then the big one to me that I think not a lot of people talk about, though, which I think is what I kind of want to do now while we have about 6 minutes left before we get to Anteater Ballpark, is the man-made portion of that. There's so many instances just in our lifetime. The BP oil spill. There was the thing that happened in Ohio a couple of years ago. There's the Flint, Michigan situation. I mean, the list goes down the list. These are man-made creations and disasters that didn't need to happen. Everybody dies. But not everybody has to die in that tragic way that could have easily been prevented. And that's, I think, the one part that maybe doesn't get talked about enough. And because the news cycle of things is constantly churning, we mentioned this thing on Monday, 3 people get shot in a mosque, and, you don't even hear a peep about it. And that's crazy to me. And then on top of that, you've got again, all these man-made disasters. And then, it's different when it's, not to say this in a way that comes off the wrong way, but it's always different when it doesn't affect you. You can hear about something, you can read it, you can watch a video about it, you can watch a documentary or a show about it that does something similar, like we talk about the TV show Chernobyl on HBO Max. But it's one thing to watch it, it's one thing to read about it, and it's another thing for it to be a reality or a possible reality. And there's that saying, out of sight, out of mind, right? If it's not there, you don't think about it. Like with COVID, we always talk about, like, I remember when, maybe a month before over here in the States when it shut down. So it shut down in March. I remember in February of 2020, you'd go to, I was at Cal State Fullerton, ironically, at the time. We're going to the baseball game right now. And I remember, you walk into class, you were at UCSD, and that was my last semester there. And I remember going to some of my classes, and you'd see people sniffling and stuff, and then you'd hear people joking like, I hope it's not COVID or whatever. And but then it's different when it's there, and it's not just, it's in Europe, it's in Asia. It's not here. We don't got to worry about it, and people make jokes about it and whatever. But then all of a sudden it comes and it's serious and it's real. And, so I don't know. I try not to be a prisoner of the moment too much, but sometimes I guess you can't really help it. So I had been alerted to, and not even yesterday. I guess this happened yesterday, and I didn't even know until today. And I guess it was around 2:00 in the afternoon, and that's when I found out. And they were having a press conference out in Garden Grove, which isn't too far from where we're at. And I had the time to watch it, so I took the time to watch it. And maybe normally, you run that simulation 100 times. You might not be able to watch it all 100 times, but the way it played out, I was able to watch it. And I don't know, it did one of those things to my brain. It really fucked me up from about 2:00 until, what time is it now? 5:52. Probably about 30 minutes ago is when I probably started to chillax a little bit. But yeah, I think it puts a lot of things in perspective, because it goes to show you how quickly life can kind of change on a whim, and nothing's ever really guaranteed. So you always want to be where your feet are at. As long as you got breath in your body, you want to do the best that you can. And it's a reminder to not take days for granted, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. And watching this press conference, I mean, I don't know, man. I've watched a decent amount of these things, or read things in the past, like even when we were talking about COVID, right? Even when that was going on, I mean, we could talk about this in the future, but, that was a situation where, as scary maybe as that was, there were other parts of it that were more traumatic than just the virus itself. But, it's something like this where it's, basically there's this gas tank that's leaking vapor into the atmosphere, and they had the press conference, if you will, with the fire department and the health agencies and whatnot, and all these different people. With these press conferences, they have a whole brigade of people, and they had one of these guys come on, and he was talking. They basically said, yeah, look, this gas tank's been leaking since yesterday. And unless one of these guys behind me figures something out, there's honestly nothing we're going to be able to do about it. There's really nothing we're going to be able to do about it. It's just a matter of if and when either it spills or it blows up. And, I'm pretty sure almost word for word, he said, in a weird world, the best case scenario is that this thing spills. And then obviously the worst case scenario is just that this thing goes kaboom, and then it hits the other tanks that are in the same thing, and it all blow up and release all kind of chemicals I've never heard about until today. So that's one thing. You hear that and you're like, well, okay, that's not great. And then they got this other lady up there, and she started talking about how, there's really no precedent for something like this being released into the atmosphere. We know what it does to animals, but there's no prior scenario that we can really point to maybe once or twice. What happened here? Oh, we got people coming through or what? Oh, here we go. We're about to pay for parking. See, that's the natural flow of these things. Here we go.
For the baseball game?
We're going to the baseball game.
Are you paying with cash or card?
Card.
Card? Okay, yeah, you'll pull to the right here.
Thank you.
Thank you. There you go. See, that's the natural flow of these things, huh? Yeah, we are about to arrive here at Anteater Ballpark. Here, I'll take care of that. We'll talk about it. But anyways, back to where we were in just a second here. This is the commercial break without a commercial break for you.
Brought to you by Chase.
Yeah, there you go, Chase Pay. We'll be right back after these messages from your corporate sponsors. No free
Speaking of
ads.
sponsors, you want to share the news? Or
No, there's no news. There's no news. Nothing to report there, ironically. No sponsors. No free ads, though. No sponsors. Although we do give free ads a lot. We do. We do give plenty of free ads, you know. Free ads for people that deserve it, you know.
Penn State Nittany Lions, huh?
Oh, there you go. Penn State. Always got to get some Penn State. Yes.
Whenever you're ready. Oh, one more time, please. Yeah.
Thank you. Bada bing, 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 bada boom.
Sign up for Ingvar Kennedy AR or on Maxwell. Have a good day.
Thank you.
so much.
Appreciate it. Anyways, we're about to hit it. We're about to hit the ballpark here, so we're gonna wrap this up. But yeah, basically, you know, hopefully open up the door for future conversations about life and death. And you know, I think just talking about this is therapeutic in many ways, right? Just being able to get it off your chest and say, hey, you know what? Maybe it's not as you know. Sometimes I don't know how other people's brains work. Sometimes I think I have to take my brain to a 10 in order to come back to that equilibrium and balance. And it's something I work through, and some days are better than others. But you know, I always like to use this analogy to anybody if we have private conversations. But if anyone's ever seen the SpongeBob episode where his brain's on fire and there's a million different SpongeBobs running around yelling, "What's his name?" I feel like that's what my brain looks like sometimes, and I think today was a good example of that for a couple of hours. But you know, that's the beauty of brotherhood and friendship and having people that you care about is that, you know, like a guy like this over here gives you the space to kind of come on here and get that off your chest, and you can't put a price on that. You know, that's a brother right there. So that's some Nick D propaganda for you. But yeah, look, stay safe. Wow, words are difficult. Stay safe out there.
Well, you know what you can put a price on? You want to guess how much parking was?
How much was parking?
Take a guess.
I don't know. I didn't look. 20?
$16.
That's probably, I mean, that's how they make that money, though, because these tickets are probably going to be like $10-15, right?
Oh, man.
You
Hear that
already? Hey, tomorrow's the Angels game protest, by the way, so
be there.
Be there. You know, just, you know, be safe out there. Hopefully.
Try not to ingest too many chemicals.
Yeah, hopefully this methaclynate or whatever the hell it's called, you know, hopefully, yeah, best case scenario, we're going to manifest good thoughts, speak it into existence. Everything's going to be okay, nothing to worry about. But, you know, it's just a reminder. I think things like this are always a reminder to be friendly and kind to people, right? You know, you never know what someone's going through and what they might be experiencing. And sometimes for as much as we disagree on, I think we all agree that we want to live as long as we can. And more, I mean, maybe not to get dark and, you know, because maybe there's some people that don't, but I just, you know, most people want what's best, not only for ourselves, but for society. And obviously not everybody is 100% perfect. And ultimately, yeah, we just, hopefully things like this are a reminder to be kind to people and try to maximize our days and not take for granted the people that we have that make us who we are, and to try to be the best we can each and every day. So speaking of being alive, we're going to go enjoy some baseball, and maybe you'll hear from us after the game. Maybe you won't. Who knows? I guess we'll see how it plays out. But we're going to manifest good.
Depends if there's a pitch clock and...
Yeah, I think we're going to make a prediction. The game's going to be 2 hours and 57 minutes.
Is there a pitch clock in college?
There is a pitch clock in college. There is.
Okay.
Game moves quick these days, man.
Did they ban the shift?
I think they did, but you know what? In the college game, they bunt a lot more than they do in the
Oh,
big.
that's what I'm talking about,
Especially
baby.
Big West baseball. You know, we're gonna see a lot of bunting tonight, a lot of small ball, put the ball in play. Not a whole lot of launch angle tonight,
man.
probably.
That's all right. The
It's
launch
gonna be.
angle will take care of itself after we see all the small balls.
Oh man, Siobhan Bott's gonna have a good launch
Yeah,
angle
well,
on
you know,
Sunday
you
night.
and Siobhan are gonna have your own little chemical romance with
There you go. Manifesting good thoughts. To not, best case scenario happens. Nothing happens here. So Sunday night we can have a chemical romance with the Shiv and all the lovely stars of the Unfiltered Report. So everybody out there, stay safe. Don't do anything that we wouldn't do over here. But if you do, enjoy it. Have fun. This has been hopefully the first of many of these little Colin Cowherd in the car sort of deals with all the different casting characters. I know there's another guy we're gonna get on here. We talked about this a long time ago about some late night drives as well, so that opens the door for that. So I'm looking forward to all these. But big D over here, appreciate you for letting us do this. And to the people out there, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and peace and love. Right?
Peace and love.
Peace and love. It's been the Unfiltered Report. That's D. My name's Ryan. Until next time.